Countdown to a 50th year clan reunion. Death of a Mother. By Simeon G. Silverio Jr. Published in the San Diego Asian Journal, a leading Filipino newspaper in San Diego, California. First of 3 articles. My father, Simeon Cervantes Silverio, never told us much about his mother, who passed away when he was 10 years old. Here's what I imagine would have transpired that fateful day. From nowhere, the pipit bird flew in and perched on a branch of a guava tree several feet away from Simeon. Slowly, he aimed at the bird with his slingshot. He pulled the rubber strips away and released the pebble at the end. It hit the bird's head. The bird fell to the ground. Dead. Simeon, Simeon, your mother is dead, shouted a boy running across the rice field. Simeon ignored the shout and picked up the bird. He looked at it as it laid on his palm. It was too small to eat, but he shot it anyway. Shooting birds with slingshot was a game for boys like him growing up in the province. It was not even the thrill of the kill enjoyed by hunters that motivated him to do it, but rather the affirmation of his skills. The boy reached Simeon, panting. Your mother is dead, he told Simeon again. This time, Simeon got the message. His hand let loose of the bird, which fell to the ground. He ran towards their house. He knew her mother had been sick but didn't expect her to die. He was just 10 years old, too young to be an orphan. Many people were already in their house when he arrived. He ran towards the room and saw his mother, Leonila, lying on a papag, bamboo bed. She was not moving. Her eyes were closed. His relatives and neighbors were around her, staring at the dead body. On one corner of the room were his younger sisters, Lily, Aining, and Mandang. His Lola Inta, his maternal grandmother, was consoling them. Send a message to Solomon. Tell him his wife has died, somebody ordered. Solomon was in a distant town working as a traveling employee of a waterworks company. He only went home on weekends and had to be away even when his wife was sick. The succeeding events flew past Simeon's mind. He was grieving and could hardly notice what was happening. A simple gray casket was brought in from the town's funeral parlor. The body of his mother was dressed up in her favorite saya she wore during special occasions and put inside the casket. For 3 days and 3 nights the casket with the body was displayed in the living room. Card games were played day and night, a common practice in the Philippines during wakes. A tong or fee is collected from the winner of each game to be added to the funds that would help cover for the funeral expenses. Coffee, rice cakes and biscuits were served to the people who paid their respect to the dead. They handed their abuloy, donations, to Solomon or Inta. If the money collected from the abuloy and the tong were not enough, the family would augment the rest of the funeral expenses. His younger sisters Lily, 8 and Aining, 6, were old enough to understand what was happening. Mandang, 4, was barely unaware of the impact of her mother's death. It was their grandmother Inta who held the children together. His father Solomon, an only child, got the full attention of his parents while growing up. Compared to his peers, he somehow got a comfortable, if not extravagant, upbringing. Leonila was thrifty and an expert in lending money to needy neighbors and friends. She saved a lot of money not only by scrimping on her resources but also by doing businesses on the sides, like buying and selling pele. Her husband's steady income as a company employee was also a big help in increasing their somewhat modest wealth. However, she was too trusting of people. She would lend money without receipts or signed IOUs. Every transaction was kept in her memory, bound to be erased like when a computer crashed. That was exactly what happened when she died suddenly. Her husband and children didn't know how to collect the debts. The debtors shamefully would not volunteer the information. They were not honorable enough and lacked moral guilt despite the fact that the person to whom they owed money was a close relative, friend or neighbor. There were a lot of debts to my mother then that were not paid, her daughter, Aining, who is now 100 years old and living in Los Angeles, California, remembered. From the life of affluence to living in the care of their grandmother, my father Simeon and his sisters suffered a reversal of fortune with the death of their mother. From then on, they would no longer enjoy her maternal love and affection. Mandang, who was too young to remember, didn't even have a chance to know her. That was their situation in Barrio Culianan, Plaridel, Bulacan in the Philippines in 1922. To be continued.